Hello, hello. Happy Monday. So sorry I'm late. I was hanging out with two emotional terrorists, my niece and nephew, who are literally emotional terrorists, but the best kind. If you're going to be terrorized by two children, they are the best ones. I was thinking about showing a picture on this live, and then I was like, God, I would never show a picture of my kid on the internet, so I'm not going to show a picture of my brothers, but such cute kids. I was playing aunt. Anyways, if you're in the Discord, you can see a picture of little Eliza who just dumped a bucket of water on my head, kicked me in the shin, and then made me drag her dead body weight for the last 20 minutes. She's adorable. She's turning out just like me, unbelievably stubborn and bossy. Oh my gosh. I am the best aunt because I'm also a child. Like, that's why I'm the best teacher because I'm really, 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 really good with children. I will say that children and animals. Give me one second. I need to get a drink of water. Okay. I'm gonna wait for a few more people to get in here. Let's all tap the screen. Tap, tap, tap. I was gonna take the day off, but there's just too many things I need to talk about. Like, I just feel like when I don't get to talk to you when I don't do the people's receipts, it's like my brain is bursting with information. And since, Tuesdays, I normally do a live slash podcast thing with Matt. I'm trying to learn not to over talk people. So it's healthiest if I do this now and get most of it out so that when I have to do a live with someone else, I'm not like screaming at them all the things I never got to say on Monday. That's what I think is best. Okay. So side note, and I'll try to remember to say this again. I have been having so many problems with like people joining the Discord and the link's not working after 2 months. I finally got an answer from someone at Discord. Like I've been messaging their admin. And yeah, I confirmed like what I'm doing is correct. I'm making these forever links. I'm updating them every week and I'm putting them in my link tree. And they're like, yeah, that's correct. So I have now updated the Discord link again if you want to join the Discord. And this time it was examined by the people that work at Discord. And they're like, yeah, no, that's correct. So if you would like to join the Discord, allegedly, the link is in my link tree and it is working. But again, I'm just going to say, and I said, I think we're having problems with, people thinking there's bots and I said, I'm replacing the link once a week. Is that good enough? And they're like, yeah, it should be. So if for whatever reason you click on the link to join the Discord and it doesn't work, just remember, copy and paste the link into the browser. But both, it is working. I tried it earlier. So hopefully, and I'm going to continue to change it every Sunday. And they said that should be sufficient. What is the other thing? Oh, yes. I wanted to say thank you so much to particularly Ronald and Gumps. Like the things, I have an Amazon wish list in my link tree in my bio, whether you're watching from YouTube or Twitch or X, wherever. And I always talk about this. This is my job, and like everything, like the tips and stuff I make, I pretty much just, everyone who's watched the People's Receipts for a while knows, I just reinvested in technology and things back into this business. So my link tree, like when you buy me little things, like it is so helpful. Like, and Gumps, thank you so much for like always thinking of me, and like all the things you've bought me have been so helpful. Just, when I don't have to even buy like shampoo, that's helpful. So I just wanted to say, and someone got me there. There's this desk. I don't know if anyone's ever seen these, but there are these like bed desks. Well, there's different versions. There's one that look like what you have in hospitals where it's like half of a desk that kind of slides over one side of the bed. Then I should have taken a picture of this, and when I get it built, I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys probably on Wednesday. That's my plan. I plan to try to do this. If I didn't do a live today, I was going to put it together. But then there's ones that go over like the whole foot of your bed and they like roll. Instead of being like the half hospital ones, it's like as if it's a whole one. There's wheels on each side. Because I'm thinking of, I don't know, it'd be easier for me to work in bed. And Someone got that for me, and I assuming it's Gumps because the desk I'm working on right now, she got for me and has always been so kind. And I haven't opened the box because it's huge to see, but I'll let you guys know. I just want to say for the people who've gotten me from the smallest things, like those anxiety rings I'm always wearing, to like the desk I'm working on right now, I just want to say thank you so much. Like, you just don't know what it means to me. And sometimes I don't know if people want me to say that they got me stuff or not, because I've also had people say, like, oh, I didn't get you this, so you would, don't say my name on the internet. Like, that's not why I did it. So I'm just going to say in general, thank you so, so much. Like, for everyone who's ever gotten me things off my Amazon wish list. And sorry, Gums, I'm just going to continue saying your name because you know how many ways you've supported me. Like, and I just appreciate you all the time. And if she's not here to hear this, it's actually a really funny story. She buys things from my Amazon wish list from her partner's Amazon account. And I was like, there's some guy, like, his last name's Kemp. I've never met him, but he keeps buying me things. It was getting super weird. And then she was like, no, it's me. So like after like 6 months, I was like, okay, I thought some guy just bought me all this stuff and I'd never met him in my life. So I just wanted to say thank you. And I don't always say it, but every single thing is appreciated, truly. And like this ear cuff, thank you. I don't know if anyone remembers. Well, everyone probably remembers, I get harassed by different people every day. Do you remember on Thursday, some guy came into the live and was like, shouldn't you he's like, why are you online? Shouldn't you be getting a septum piercing? And I was like, I don't even have my ears pierced. I don't have a tattoo. Like, I'm a Mexican girl who shouldn't cut her hair. In Mexican culture, if you're unmarried, like in my dad's eyes, I still belong to him until I get married. And then I'll like, quote unquote, belong to another man. But Ronald got me these, kind of like ear cuffs, and you don't need to have your ear pierced. And I was thinking, like, when I start, because I am planning to do more debates on my account, I should use these because there's like 10 or there might be more than 10, and like have this in, and MAGA will lose their Can you imagine if they thought my septum was pierced? How many comments I would get from MAGA? Like it will. I love septum piercings, actually. And I don't have, my skin is dark, but like, especially on like black women, I think septum piercings look so good. Like, oh, they trick some guy, Katie, if you were in here on Thursday, some guy came in here just based on, and actually, I think last week was probably the first time in my life we were all getting along. Like, I was talking about Epstein, something the far right and the far left agrees on. Actually, I think that was probably the first time I was making content for everyone. He's like, shouldn't you be piercing your septum? And now I'm like, I love the ear cuffs, but maybe but if I ever debate, I'm going to use them as like septum piercing so they can be like, yeah, of course you have your septum pierced. I don't even have pierced ears. I don't know, but I did say this once because when I first met, oh my God, I almost said Alina Habba, not Trump's creepy lawyer, but Alina, Alina that debates on TikTok. Like, I met her through Pickles. Like, I can't remember what we were doing. It was like me, Chris, Pickles, and like Alina came. We were just kind of hanging out one night for, I don't even know why, like in January. Or maybe it was December. That was the first time I'd ever talked to her. And she was talking about, like MAGA's reactions to her, like piercings and tattoos or color. Maybe it was colored hair. Maybe that's what we were. Yeah, colored hair, I think. And I was telling her that I'd read a study, and like, the value, if you want to know like a real argument to get tattoos or piercings or color hair, is you are exponentially, and this is real statistical analysis, you are much less likely to be trafficked. True story. Because, I guess men want like virginal looking women, not like tattooed, angry looking liberal women. Like, look, there are studies done. You are less likely to be trafficked if you have tattoos piercings or colored
You know, that
hair.
caper is more
Yeah, that's a
sophisticated
great
now than
point. Whoever said that,
computers.
Zekly 33, and less, it's harder, it's or more likely to be identified, right? Like, hey, this person has these exact tattoos and purple hair and whatever. Yeah, it's much easier to spot that person. Exactly. Yeah, everyone said the same. God, this chat is too smart. Like every single person was like, and furthermore, I read this study and I'm going to expound on it. I don't, I love, see, this is why I have to go live every day because I need to talk to the smartest people on the internet. Yeah, exactly. So, again, in closing, number one, if you want to join the Discord, I finally talked to someone at Discord and confirmed just to check, like, am I adding these links right to my link tree? And they're like, yeah.
You know,
So if
that
you want to join
caper
the
is more
Discord, the link should
sophisticated now
work.
than
If for some
computers.
reason it doesn't work, just copy and paste it into the
You know, that
browser.
caper is more
And I guess
sophisticated
this is
now than
just how
computers.
things
You know,
work.
that
It's
caper
not
is more
me. I finally have,
sophisticated
it
now
only
than
took 2.5
computers.
months to get a response on that. And sorry I'm late. If you're wondering what the F's going on, I was doing babysitting. I babysat my two toddlers today who beat me up. Honestly, I feel like I was assaulted. I not feel like I 100% was assaulted many times, and I'm gonna have to process that over the next 24 hours. Finally, I'm assuming tomorrow, just before we get started, because got a lot of stuff to talk about. But I'm assuming Matt and I are doing a live tomorrow. I'm gonna text him again. I tried to ask him so I would know. I'm gonna text him one more time. Do our live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm just assume Matt and I are doing a live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. If not, I'll let everyone know in the Discord. That's why I want everyone to join when I change the schedule. Otherwise, I'll find someone to debate with, or maybe I'll debate. I'll figure it out and we'll do another activity for our ADHD. Okay. Now, thank God I had all day while babysitting toddler while getting beaten by toddlers to I just have to show you something. And apparently I've heard and I looked some things up. I have not seen this whole interview. Like I said, I was babysitting my brother's toddlers, but which, by the way, if anyone's been watching the People's Receipts for a long time, one of those, the older toddler is my nephew. Remember, like I told you guys in September, oh my God, it's almost been a year. It was almost a year ago that he was no, wait. Yeah. First one was in September. I think I told you guys in October or November that he was having seizures. He's doing much better now. He is on anticonvulsant medication, but he's gotten like a good report from the doctor, and it's been about 3 or 4 months since his last seizure. So it's nice to see him happy and thriving. And you guys were the ones, because I've taken a lot of early childhood development, but it's not the same as, being in the trenches raising a child. And when I was freaking out, it was you all who told me and some of you in detail in the Discord took time to write me long messages and tell me like, hey, this happens and they usually grow out of it. And like, it does seem like that might be happening for my nephew. So thank you guys for everyone who like supported me through that. And like those messages you guys sent me, especially the people who are in the medical field, I did share those with my brother because he has been super worried about it. So I just wanted to say, like, watching my little nephew thrive and be amazing is so adorable. And I appreciate all that support. If you guys have been around long enough to know what I'm talking about, watching a 2, 3-year-old have a seizure and you have no control over it is one of the most horrific things I've ever experienced in my life. Yeah, I know. And he's happy and he's thriving. Okay, one more drink of water and then we're going. So, what I want to talk about first, and I'm
You
going
know,
to
that
skip around a
caper is
lot
more
because I have a lot to
sophisticated
talk
now
about.
than
Because,
computers.
when I saw Trump's new, like, the Biden auto pen thing is not working. So, naturally, Trump had to start making up some more lies. And since this is like my wheelhouse, but not just my wheelhouse, I would actually say of all the things I've debated on TikTok with MAGA, the Mueller report is something MAGA, well, at least here on the internet, a lot of them do know about, which I'm like, oh, this is not going to go well. Like, I have had some really like high level conversations with like people, mother dragons. Like I always say, conservative lens. If anyone from MAGA is listening to this right now, conservative lens is so smart. Like she's, I think, actually a paralegal, not to dox her. She's having conversations about the Mueller report. I think she's one of the people that knows the most about it. But if you're a woman on the right, no one cares when you talk. You guys should listen to her more. No, of the MAGA debaters, conservative lens is quite intelligent. I mean, they listen to older millennial. This is my point. Bear with me. The facts are not on their side, right? But of people that can take, I always say this: MAGA are defense lawyers for Trump, right? There's no the truth isn't on their side. The lines of logic aren't on their side. The data's not. So what they're doing is they're like poking holes in our data and our lines of logic, which are sound. They're like defense lawyers. All they need is to convince one person so they get a hung jury. And of all the people I've heard doing that on the right, actually the best people at it on TikTok, I think, are women. But because they're such misogynists, they're all like, older millennial made a video. Did you guys see it? And like, he's the dumbest of all of them on the right. He's the dumbest one. And they keep listening to him and getting, well, not anymore. I don't, where is he? Is he, does anyone know what happened to him after he got tased in the back? Is he still in jail? I mean, they're probably not listening to him anymore. This allegedly, I heard. I mean, I don't know what happened to him. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know whatever happened with that whole. Yeah, I'm not sure. Is he posting? Oh my God. See, yeah, I don't. I can't watch anyone over there. Oopsies. Sorry, I think I need to cast my screen again. Nope, we're good. Okay, so I have not watched this whole interview and I have some mixed feelings about it, but I'm just going to show you guys something that just happened before I show you the main things I want to talk about. So apparently Hunter Biden, I don't know, like people are saying it's like a 3-hour interview. If that's true, I don't know why Hunter Biden's talking to a local news station for 3 hours. Maybe you guys know more about this than I do. I've had a lot going on. I don't know why Hunter Biden's talking to any local news station for 3 hours. That seems excessive and strange. But wait, people are doing FOIA requests and video. Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think he got found. I'm just reading someone's message in the chat about older millennials. Allegedly, I have no idea about any of this. I don't. So this is just something that some other creators who are very involved in this told me. Yeah, that's how he got found in an Airbnb. Like he was in his own area where he lives, hiding from the cops in an Airbnb, and because of people on TikTok, because he was like making videos in an Airbnb, and then people went and like looked at Airbnb listings and like the different rooms until they matched the background of his videos with like of the Airbnb listing with his TikTok videos that he was making. Allegedly, this is what some other creators informed me of. Yeah, someone knows. Shawnee got, yeah, there. Thank you. Shawnee, that's what I heard, that is who did the research, listing by listing. Shawnee wrote the creator's name, and that is how they found him in that Airbnb, and the tasing happened. I don't know, but yeah, Jesse, yeah. I'm just saying, I don't know anything about this, and I don't want to be held legally liable, but those names that Jesse and Bunny listed, and then what's the guy's name that works with her, that older millennial allegedly like doxed? I can't remember his name. There's another like older gentleman that works alongside her that I guess that's how he was found. I don't know. But I was on a live with Matt and Chris and God, I wish I could. I feel bad I can't remember his. Yes, Doc Hazard. That's who. And so if you want more information on that, I would say Bunny and Doc Hazard that's probably where you're going to get it. I don't know enough, but Doc showed up on a live and, told me all about it. So that's how I know. I did have a good weekend. I need to get this party started. So apparently Hunter Biden did a local news interview, which I don't know why that's a good idea for him, but I mean, nothing he said was not true. Like, I just want to say this, like, before we get into all the conspiracy theories and the lies that Trump's telling. Trump is now, like, I guess, trying to put Obama in prison or something. I mean, like, the auto pen thing is not sticking. So we've got, like, thank you for the hat. Dig deeper. Trump's going harder at, telling delusional lies. And unfortunately, I've read the Mueller report twice. Like, this is my wheelhouse. This is when I started getting involved in Trump stuff. I know so much about this stuff. So I just want to show you, though, this clip, because the interesting part is not the interview. Well, wait till you hear what Hunter Biden's saying. And again, allegedly, it's really long, and I have not listened to the whole thing. But I just want to show you. Oh my God. Okay, I did post it. Look at this. This is the craziest part about this. Who posted it? Bukele. Nayib Bukele, the dictator that is housing people in a concentration camp in El Salvador that we're all paying for. Is Hunter Biden sniffing powdered milk? This is today. The dictator of El Salvador, who's wanted, or is being investigated by the International Criminal Court for crimes against humanity, and is running a literal, by definition, concentration camp. And our tax dollars are paying him $6 million a year. He posted this. So that's why this is insane. So just understand that this is like, X is going insane because a El Salvadorian dictator is posting this, accusing Hunter Biden of not being sober. Okay? Like, that's why this is crazy. And also, we are really going to need to tap the screen, because just like last week, we all love TikTok Shop. We're all here to buy like a pressure washer to wash the sides of our houses and our garage doors. And we saw that on TikTok Shop, and we will all shortly be spending so much money on TikTok Shop. And we're going to need to we have to tap the screen like we've never tapped it, because there's just a lot of stuff today, and we'll just see how much we could get through, because I wasn't even going to go live. But also, I don't want to be banned for a week, but yeah. So this is the dictator of El Salvador, who I could do a whole live airing out his literal international criminal crimes that he's being investigated for. Let's put it this way. A secot, which is by definition a concentration camp, like, his political enemy went in there. One of the investigations that's being done by The Hague, the International Criminal Court, is about him putting his political opponent in there, and the guy coming out with chunks of his brain missing. And this guy is posting about Hunter Biden. Like, Sir, you have bigger problems, which I'll show you some of them, because it's unbelievable to me. Well, this is my point. This is why MAGA, my advice to you, and people, when I brought up conservative Liz, were like, why are you talking about her? That's one person. I think she's way too smart to be on the right. So I just still don't understand why she's over there, but she's smart, right? And this is why MAGA, you should read. You should understand who Nayib Bukele is and how he's effing you over, which I'll just show a couple examples after you hear this. But again, today, a couple hours ago, Nayib Bukele, the dictator of El Salvador, who's running a concentration camp, and we're paying him, I think, upwards of $6 million a year to house people who we're supposed to just deport, and a lot of them are not criminals in any way, posted this interview that Hunter Biden did. Which, tell me if one word Hunter Biden's saying is a lie.
Think that we need to run away from all values in order for us to lead. I say, fuck you. How are we getting those people back from fucking El Salvador? Because I'll tell you what, if I became president in 2 years from now, or 4 years from now, or 3 years from now, I would pick up the phone and call the fucking president of El Salvador and say, you either fucking send them back, or I'm going to fucking invade.
It's echoing? Hold on. Let me just check a couple of things here. Let me check my auto, because, my auto mixer on. Yep. I only have the audio on one thing. Let me just check two things. How bad? It's fine. Yeah, because I don't think this is This might be the clip. Sometimes when I clip things, because I don't think it's, yeah. Let me just check this one thing. Yeah, there's no extra things. Let me just check real quick, just for the sake, my PC audio mixer, and make sure I don't have any other sounds that could possibly be coming out. But I've gotten real good with sound on computers at this point, and I don't think it's me. Sometimes these clips just sound that way because I'm literally screen recording them again. Yep. Yep. I literally have everything on my computer muted. So my advice is, if it's echoing, actually, let me turn down. Nope, it's everything on and my physical audio mixer, everything but my microphone is muted. I'm gonna mute my microphone and start it over, and that might help a bit.
Think that we from all values in order for us to lead. I say, fuck you. How are we getting those people back from fucking El Salvador? Because I'll tell you what, if I became president in 2 years from now, or 4 years from now, or 3 years from now, I would pick up the phone and call the fucking president of El Salvador and say, you either fucking send them back or I'm gonna fucking invade. It's a fucking crime what they're doing. He's a fucking dictator thug.
Bukele or Trump?
Both. I think.
I mean, nailed it though. Like right at the end, Bukele. Who are you talking about? Both. Like that's the best part of the whole clip. Just of the very end. Hey, this could apply to a lot of people on the right. Just doesn't matter. All of them. Just listen one more time before I'm gonna just show you what Bukele's up to, because I do think just a couple things that I think MAGA should know about Bukele, and how Trump has some deal with him that's, you think Trump's tough on immigration, and I can easily prove to you through investigations have been done that the opposite is going on. And I'm not talking about all the innocent people Trump is rounding up and putting in jail. I'm talking about the actual people that the left and the right can agree on that we would want to find and get the F out of here, but not just the F out of here, like hold them accountable in criminal courts, for crimes, horrific crimes.
I think that we need to run away from all values in order for us to lead. I say, fuck you. How are we getting those people back from fucking El Salvador? Because I'll tell you what, if I became president in 2 years from now, or 4 years from now, or 3 years from now, I would pick up the phone and call the fucking president of El Salvador and say, you either fucking send them back or I'm gonna fucking invade. It's a fucking crime what they're doing. He's a fucking dictator thug.
Bukele or Trump?
Both. I think that.
That's the thing, Hunter. First of all, I don't know why you're doing this interview. Are you taking a break from selling your weird paintings? It's nice to know you and Trump have selling weird paintings. Well, Hunter Biden is a much better artist than Trump, first of all. So I don't know if I should be talking about in the same sentence, but I am annoyed by rich people who are not artists selling art for lots of money they don't deserve to have. I don't care who you are. Stop, Nepo babies. Thank you, by the way, Lush and I Hate It, my favorite name online. Thank you for the giveaway sub. Chris, you got a giveaway sub from Lush and I Hate It. W Lush and I Hate It in the chat. Appreciate it. If you would like to buy a sub, I'm trying to get to 400 subscriptions today. That yellow star in the bottom left-hand corner is for subbing. If you already have one, you can buy someone else a sub for a month or whatever. You'll see when you click on it. Okay, we're almost to 75K. Keep tapping that screen because I'm going to have to play some things that are not so good. But I'm not going to start reading all of Bukele's crimes, right? But again, the reason this is crazy is because Bukele posted this and accuses Hunter Biden of no longer being sober after Hunter Biden has absolutely admitted to all of his problems. I've read all of Hunter Biden's congressional deposition, everything to do with when they were trying to impeach Joe Biden. I've read every word of that stuff. And now Bukele is doing this. So my point is, before I get into what's wrong with Bukele, I just want to be clear. The point is here, well, actually, never mind. I ended up clipping it. I have clips after this. But I'll say this. I think the right and the left can agree on a few things. One is that we can't trust for-profit media. If billionaires are profiting from a media company like whatever, CBS, CNN, Fox, whatever the case may be, where there is profit to be made, then we're not just hearing the news. So that's why I would recommend, if you want to understand more about how corrupt Bukele is and how he's actually doing the opposite of what Trump is telling you he's going to do, and Trump knows that, I would suggest this is a ProPublica article. If you're like, who the F is ProPublica? It's a non-profit news source, and they have won several Pulitzer Prizes already. They've only been in existence, I think, for like 3 years. And it's former journalists. I mean, these are like journalists who won individual Pulitzers from like the New York Times, whatever. These are like the heaviest hitters in journalism, like people, I mean, I don't know. I don't give about like celebrities, or actors. These are the people, like if I met them, I would like tackle them and ask for an autograph. This is a ProPublica article. It is amazing, right? And basically what this is, and ProPublica is not the only people that have done this work. The New York Times also has put out a very long good piece, not as good as ProPublica's, but they did a good piece as well on this, right? Trump vowed to dismantle MS-13. Bukele has a very active deal with MS-13 to help them avoid any sort of criminal court or justice all over the world, but particularly in the United States, right? Top gang leaders being sent back to El Salvador were part of a lengthy federal investigation that has amassed evidence of a corrupt pact between the Bukele government and MS-13. If you want to know more about this, like I could do a whole live about it, but just understand, you believe that Trump's going after criminals. All the data we have, which I'm going to get into further because it's really starting to annoy me that MAGA believes that Trump has the people we have in concentration camps are overwhelmingly not criminals. They're random people that we just snatched off the street that have no criminal record. And we have those people in concentration camps. Well, meanwhile, the actual criminal, thank you so much for the glasses. I love them. The actual criminals are escaping accountability every single day. That's what you need to understand. Trump pretended we were going after these people. Meanwhile, and this is, I don't want to say it's uncommon. Bukele is not the only person that has deals like this with cartels in Central and South America. This is not so much uncommon, but understand that we are not sending, over 50% of the people we have in concentration camps have done nothing wrong. We got kids with cancer in concentration camps while Bukele is keeping these people free. Actually, MS-13, Trump just looks at people with melanin and says, oh, that's MS-13. Those people are being protected by Bukele and deals. So again, hey, J-Now, this is, sorry, J-Now's brain works. See, MAGA, J-Now's brain works. So, see, J-Now, I'm not always awful. I said a nice thing. So I would say if this is ProPublica article, just screenshot this. If you want to know more about these investigations are going on all over the world, including at the United Nations International Criminal Court, about what Bukele's doing and how he's purposely protecting MS-13. And this is a New York Times article. Oh, I didn't see what J-Now said. J-Now, don't harass people. This is not the time. Hold on, sorry. You don't care about the open records the Trump administration is sharing. Oh yeah, we'll get into that. That's such a small percentage. And actually, I'll get to some of that. I'm working backwards, so we'll talk about those records because yeah, I played a clip about this. There's the amount of files on Epstein. I mean, It's as if I'm trying to think. I can't remember. I'm not going to do an analogy that's not going to be mathematically correct. So let me just give me a second. But I want to show you. So Nayib Bukele posts this video attacking Hunter Biden, which I'm no fan of Hunter Biden. Again, Hunter, I don't know why. Like when he's saying in that video, if I ran for president in 2 years, please don't. Please don't. Please just go away. Like, just go away. But I do want to say something. If Don Jr. is going to be involved in his father's campaigning, and if MAGA, you think Don Jr. is capable and functional and intelligent, which he is intelligent, but he has just as big of an illicit substance problem as Hunter Biden. Like as someone who I pay for his podcast. This man is so up in the clouds on illicit substances, he's either falling asleep or won't let anyone else speak. It's one or the other. So you don't seem to have a problem when it's people on your side who have an addiction problem. Hunter at least has cleaned his life up and is allegedly sober. But before I get into that, I just want to play the clip. So Nayib Bukele posts that on X. Then here's what Fox says.
I believe the problem is that Hunter Biden doesn't know much about anything other than his old life and how he used to get alcohol and drugs. And about that, he is an authority. He ought not to have been advised.
Love TikTok shop. I just brought a power washer. Let's make sure we're tapping the screen. I'm just reporting on the news. I can't do anything about what these people are saying.
As president, his father is president. He ought not to have been involved in anything to do with the White House. He's a convicted felon, and he does not know anything about illegal immigration. He is correct that many...
Let me just help you with that line of logic. And by the way, this guy's name is Hugh Hewitt, which are immediately no. Two first names is bad enough. Your first name with an IT after, not cool. So let me just get this straight, Hugh. If I can hear you and then take your line of logic and extend it to what we have going on. Felons shouldn't be involved in politics? Is that people who have been convicted of one felony shouldn't be involved in politics? Is that correct? Because that seems, I just want you to hear this, like the hypocrisy of the right. Like if you're not in cognitive dissonance and your brain works, then this logic you're applying to this man, right? If you're saying anybody who's used an illicit substance shouldn't be in politics. Well, Trump's first administration, Ronnie Jackson, what is it? He's in like the 22nd, 23rd district of Texas. I mean, he ran a pill mill. He lost his rank as admiral in the military, is now like captain, continues to refer to himself as his higher rank unlawfully because he was running an illegal pill mill in Donald Trump's White House. He was Donald Trump's doctor. This is all documented in the news. So if the story is anybody using illicit substances should not be in the White House, then that's all of them. That's Trump's administration. I could go person for person, right? Hello, Space Karen. Hello, Elon Musk. The guy you guys say because he's the richest man in the world is also the smartest man in the world, and we should all listen to him. So again, and this clip's not even half over with hypocrisy, but I just want you to think of how hypocritical it is to say this with your full chest while also supporting every single person in elected office on the right.
I believe the problem is that Hunter Biden doesn't know much about anything other than his old life and how he used to get alcohol and drugs. And about that, he is an authority. He ought not to have been advising his president. His father is president. He ought not to have been involved in anything to do with the White House. He's a convicted felon, and he does not know anything about illegal immigration. He is correct that many illegal immigrants work very hard. Doesn't mean they should stay in the country. That's a long and extended debate about that. I did read some other excerpts in this long interview. I'm not going to watch 3 hours of, I hope, a recovering addict and alcoholic tell me what he thinks ought to be happening in the country. But he clearly doesn't know anything about immigration. He is clearly desperate for attention. And here's
MAGA, if you do want to play the who can we prove has an illicit substance and alcohol problem, I want to play that game all day. I bet you I can prove more people on the right actively have one while in elected office or paid office in the White House. I read every Capitol Hill blog, every staffer's blog. I promise you, that's not a game you want to get into. You will not win. Yeah, we got Pete Hegseth. Where's Pete Hegseth's liver? Someone at Pete Hegseth's liver. Where's that account? Like, you're joking, right? You must be kidding that you want to play this person is a recovered, paid his debt to society, right? You're not serious that you're bringing up the who's on alcohol and illicit substance argument. Because, and I'll just say this, like, I actually have a lot of liberal views on this because this is how I know no MAGA are libertarians. Let me tell you, there's two views how you can immediately tell MAGA is just a fake libertarian. MAGA just started wanting to think they were libertarians. You know what libertarians believe in? The complete and total decriminalization of illicit substances in every case. There are no exceptions, and most importantly, absolutely no borders anywhere. You know who that's very similar to? Communists. But MAGA thinks they're libertarians, but has no idea what libertarians believe. That's what they believe. So if you think MAGA, you're a libertarian, you are not, unless you hold those values, because those are libertarian values. And I'm actually not judging anyone because, again, God knows, like, I've had dark moments with alcohol. So, like, that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm just talking about, did anyone hear him say felons should be nowhere near the White House? Are you okay? Cool. Let's roll with that. What about people credibly accused of SA? What about Grape? Yeah, like, what about Pete Hegseth? Should they be running the military? I would love to play this game. Like, the hypocrisy of all of this is absolutely wild. Again, sorry I didn't see who wrote it, but someone came in and said, I just joined. What's going on? Nayib Bukele, the dictator of El Salvador, who is being investigated for crimes against humanity by the International Criminal Court, has posted a clip of Hunter Biden and then here, let me just show you oops. This is what he posts. The title says, "Is Hunter Biden sniffing powdered milk?" I think we all know why would the dictator of El Salvador even have time to type this? Like, I don't like Putin, but Putin at least has some class. You know what I mean? Like, like you don't carry, like, you don't do this on your own. You get someone to do it for you, weirdo. Like, how bored are you over there? But he posted this, so I was playing. This just happened a couple hours ago, so I was playing the clip. If you were late to class, I'm just going to play it one more time. And we love TikTok Shop. Tap the screen.
I think that we need to run away from all values in order for us to lead. I say, fuck you. How are we getting those people back from fucking El Salvador? Because I'll tell you what, if I became president in 2 years from now, or 4 years from now, or 3 years from now, I would pick up the phone and call the fucking president of El Salvador and say, you either fucking send them back or I'm going to fucking invade. It's a fucking crime what they're doing. He's a fucking dictator thug.
Bukele or Trump?
Both. I think that we need to run away from.
This part is the last both. This could apply to everyone. whoever you think I'm talking about, yes. But that's what Bukele posted. So I then responded, and I was just informing MAGA, because if MAGA wants to learn, they should learn how to do research. This is a ProPublica article. Bukele has active deals that have been researched and validated with MS-13. Like, Trump is telling you that his job is to put MS-13 in jail, but we know now, which I'll show some data once we get into some other things about immigration, we know that that's not what's going on. Actually, maybe I should just pull it up now. That Trump's not putting MS-13 in jail in the United States, that he's not putting criminals in jail, that the majority of people in concentration camps like Alligator Alcatraz are actually not criminals. They're just people who were paying into our retirement that we snatched up. Low hanging fruit. Like, I think the one thing MAGA and, the far right and the far left, who knows what's going on in the middle as people are delusional, really want is like, yeah, let's reduce actual crime. Let's stop trafficking. Same thing I agree with about Jeffrey Epstein, right? Let's actually, people who are operating criminal organizations within this country, especially from other countries, let's get them out of here, and not just get them out of here, because that's what's going on. If you understand, if people have been harmed inside the United States, then we need to try them here. We need justice for the victims in America. And what is happening is, and this is a ProPublica article, 10 of 10 recommend. This article is free. You don't need a subscription. ProPublica, the reason I love this publication is they are a nonprofit. These are former Pulitzer Prize winning journalists. ProPublica has won Pulitzer Prizes in their 2-3 years of existence, and it's free. You don't have to subscribe, and you can also listen to these. This is a real long one, but it is fascinating. Understand that Trump has made a deal with the devil, who has a deal with MS-13 to protect them. So we're putting nice people who are picking strawberries in fields and using ITIN numbers to pay into all of our retirement into concentration camps, while the actual MS-13 kingpins are being protected by Bukele. This is another good article. If you have, New York Times, you got to pay for, but this is another good one. But and this is proven. All around the world, this is being reported that this is what is happening, that we're not getting the actual people we said we were going to get. We're just jailing innocent people while the kingpins of MS-13 are actively being protected, and not just by Bukele. There's other Central American dictators, South American dictators that have deals to protect them as well. But this is the guy. Just understand the difference, right? I have no problem with legally and humanely deporting people, right? Like just taking them on a plane and dropping them off and being like, fare thee well, you can't stay here. Right? That's different. We are paying on, the line item is $6 million a year, but we're housing innocent people. And understand, and I went into this, I showed studies about this, people who've committed no crimes, not just, and I know you're about to be like, well, it's a crime to come in here legally. No, that's a civil crime of which there's no jail time associated with it. But I just want to be clear, I'm not even talking about those people. I'm saying we are housing people in Secot in El Salvador who were here legally, have done nothing wrong. That's what I'm trying to say. Meanwhile, the real people Bukele is protecting. And for some reason, Bukele has time then to accuse Hunter Biden of, being on illicit substances. But also Hunter Biden, I don't know why you're saying if I ran for president. Actually, I do, because if Trump can be president, if a 34-time felon who's been credibly accused however many times of SA, of rape, been found liable of 400 plus million in fraud, if this guy can be president, I get it. We all can. So I do get it. But also, stop, Hunter. Please, just go work at a movie theater. Leave us all alone. Sorry, but oh yeah, I forgot. I knew there was something I forgot to say. So the second, let me let you hear one more thing, and then I think he says it right in the beginning, because I think this is why Hunter Biden has business talking about this.
I believe the problem is that Hunter Biden doesn't know much about anything other than his old life and how he used to get alcohol and drugs. And about that, he is an authority. He ought not to have been advising his president, his father as president. He ought not to have been involved in anything to do with the White House. He's a convicted felon, and he does not know anything about illegal immigration.
I just want to say, Hunter Biden, unlike Donald Trump and any of Donald Trump's children, has passed the bar. Hunter Biden is brilliant. I know this because I've read a lot of things he's written. I read his college thesis. Hunter Biden is a card-carrying bar member. This man is a lawyer. So actually, none of what this man is saying is true. Hunter Biden, I don't like his choices. And let me just say this. I don't like rich people getting access and getting like away with things that we would never get away with. Like, I'm never getting a pardon. You're never getting a pardon, right? That's why I hate Trump's pardons. Like, I'm not necessarily even at this moment speaking about the J6 pardons. Which were all signed with AutoPen. Just look it up. But I'm not necessarily speaking about that. I'm talking about Trump's pay for pardon scheme that's been well documented. I'm talking about rich people having access to things that we will never have access to. That is a particular sore spot for me. But is Hunter Biden absolutely brilliant? Did he pass the bar? Is he a lawyer? Does he have a lot of experience in international business, consultancy, and all types of law? Absolutely. So I don't. And I guess this is just another thing Fox lying about, which if you're a Trump fan, you must be, Trump suing them, which is ironic, by the way, before we get into that, because Trump cost Rupert Murdoch $700+ million in that lawsuit about lies about the election. And now Trump's suing. You cannot write this stuff. You cannot write this stuff. The irony of all of this. What we need to do is recognize us, the poor, right? If you are not unbelievably wealthy, and if you are great, not talking to you, but us, the poor, we should not stand for any of this nepotism anymore. No, I don't care if every pardon is revoked. Oh, every pardon signed with AutoPen is revoked? Great. Get back in jail, J6ers. Get on back in jail. Just like, fine, all the rich people Trump pardoned, that you paid him for pardons. Yeah, fine. You should be criminals. If you just have access to wealth, that's where we are in America. Oh, you're rich? You're not a criminal. Oh, you have $5 million? You can immigrate here. Right? You can naturalize here. Like, I don't want to live in a world where rich people are guilty of nothing and the rest of us are scum. That's my problem.
Again, Hunter Biden is wrong. Hunter Biden doesn't know anything, and he's a son defending his father, and that's all expected and honorable, but he doesn't know anything, and I wouldn't.
Again, he actually did pass the bar. He is a lawyer. He worked as a legal consultant. Like, none of that is true. But I also want to say this. Don Jr., by all accounts, and in my opinion, is brilliant as well. Don Jr. is very smart. Does he have addiction issues? Sure. I think if you deal with a father like Donald Trump, you're going to, though. I don't blame him. But is Don Jr. intelligent? Absolutely. He is. Does he have severe addiction issues? Sure. Same thing that happened to me. If you're raised by a malignant narcissist, you can't live life in reality forever, right? Now I'm okay, but I don't blame Don Jr. for needing to escape that hell.
Not listen to him about anything because he is, of course, a discredited witness. He's also a felon. Again, Hunter Biden.
Look, I don't know why, like, Don Jr. constantly working for his dad's love. I'm guilty of the same thing. I know exactly what he's doing. Unless you were raised, I'm not talking about someone exhibiting narcissistic traits. I'm saying if you were raised by a malignant narcissist, then you get it. You know what Don Jr.'s up to. I'm up to the same thing all the time. You just don't get it. If you don't want to know, but if you do know, you know exactly what Don Jr. is doing. Hi, Pax. Let's move on from this, though, but I would just want to say this. So again, here we go with Mike Johnson on his knees for Donald Trump, giving a hand Drew Jackson. Like, this is ridiculous. So I talked about this last week, and I showed an article, and I suggested if you want to know about how we can get access not to the stupid grand jury testimony, which is literally 0.1% of all the actual Epstein files. It's nothing. And the grand jury testimony is getting an indictment for Ghislaine and Jeffrey federally. We already have grand jury testimony from the state that Ron DeSantis released. That's not going to help us. We already know all that stuff, right? We don't need any of that. That's not what we need. That's not going to help us get access to any client lists or hold people accountable. That's just Trump pretending. And remember, Trump didn't even say all of it. He's like, anything that doesn't involve me. And you're like, he didn't say that. Well, I want you to know it's come out. It is being said. But first, I want to listen you to hear this little weasel, Mike Johnson, selling us all out.
The August recess.
So here's what I would say about the Epstein files. There is no daylight between the House Republicans, the House, and the president on maximum transparency. He has said that he wants all the credible files related to Epstein to be released. He's asked the Attorney General to request the grand jury files of the court. All of that is in process right now. My belief is we need the administration to have the space to do what it is doing. And if further congressional action is necessary or appropriate, then we'll look at that. But I don't think we're at that point right now because we agree with the president.
So no vote on this resolution before August recess.
We had.
And I talked about this last week, and I showed a New York Times article if you want to know more. Ro Khanna, who's left of left. Wayne, thank you so much. My ADHD thanks you. Thank you so much for that gift. And Johnny, Johnny Longtrail, best name ever. Thank you for the super chat on YouTube. When will they stop lying? All of them. Yeah, I mean, great question. Like, especially about this issue. Now we know for sure, right? Because I know, MAGA, you think it's the left, but just understand, for whatever reason, everyone seems to not want to hold people who are hurting children accountable. And I mean, I think we all know why, right? Money, power, the British aristocracy being involved. I think, and I could make other connections as well. There's a girl, I shouldn't say that. Sorry. I call myself a girl, a woman on TikTok. I think she has like 1 million followers. Her name's Becca Day, like Bekah. If you're interested in deep dives into Epstein, and like, I know everyone thinks Tucker Carlson's crazy for saying Epstein had ties to Mossad. Yeah. It's not crazy. And she's doing deep dive. If you want to see the connections between Epstein, Mossad, Trump, all of that. Yeah. Like MAGA, if you're looking for a person if you're really looking on those connections, and because, Tucker Carlson mentioned that, and then everyone's like, oh, Tucker Carlson's crazy. He's nuts. It's not crazy. I just don't have time to play all that stuff. The reason I bring up Prince Andrew or the British aristocracy is that's just one example of a very powerful person that has a vested interest in none of this ever coming out. But I think there were people doing a lot of research between the connections between Trump, Epstein, and many, many very rich, very powerful people. I think that's my point. And Becca Day, like a bunch of people typed her name. It's Bekah Day. If you just type her first name, it will come up. And she's doing long dives into this and connecting the dots between all of this. So that would be my recommendation if you want more and you want to understand like the stuff that you hear Tucker Carlson mumbling about. That's where you can get it. Oh, sorry. I'm just before I play more hostile clips about this, I just think Jon Stewart does a great job of saying things in a funny way. Because MAGA, this is true. Like, welcome to our nightmare. Now you get it.
That you're just experiencing now, to your deep disappointment and dismay, is the dude we've been dealing with the whole f***ing time. You just didn't realize it because he's been nice to you. Like when you've had a terrible tragedy.
My administration's doing everything in its power to help Texas.
We gave them all the money, all the help that they can possibly use. We've given them we've maxed out, and we'll continue to max out.
Whatever you need, Daddy's here. Because you're the child he wanted. But we're Eric. And this... truly just a weird, cheap shot. This is how we get treated.
I don't think we should give California anything.
I mean, if I give California money, then every state that didn't vote for me will think I'm their president too. That's not a precedent I want to set. Whether Whether it's natural disasters or tariff carve-outs or immigration enforcement or a million other issues, Trump's MAGA base always benefits from favorable treatment. Except now, they're finally understanding what it's like to be the target of his hostility.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the gaslighting club. Okay, well, this is less important because I've got to move on from this, but I think this is where it is. And I have more on this later, but I just want to, if you haven't heard it, which MAGA probably knows more about this than the left does at this point, because, I don't recommend anyone be on X, but I'm going to show you more detailed clips on this, and this is just short. But I just want you to understand these reports are real and they are valid. And what Trump has asked, they do have the Epstein files, and they are going through and noting every time Trump's name is named. Trump asked for this.
There are reports that President Trump or the FBI agents going through the Epstein files were told to flag President Trump's name if it came up. Is that something the president was aware of, or something that he directed those agents or the Department of Justice to do?
I don't believe that's something the White House was aware of. You'd have to ask the FBI.
Caroline. Well, I mean, I don't. You think Trump would? Why would they be doing it if not for Trump? Trump now directs investigations. But let me show you. Actually, as long as we're on this line of logic, let me show you some more about this. Sorry, I have so many clips on all of this to show you guys today. Oh, it might be easier for me to do this in my normal. And then we'll get into the conspiracy I want to talk about, because I want to talk about the scapegoat thing Trump's doing with the Mueller report, which I actually think MAGA might know more about this than the left. Because like I said, when I first came on TikTok and first got the courage to go on lives, the people who knew, I had read the Mueller report twice, and the people who knew most about it actually were on the right. I had some really good conversations with people on the right. So I actually think, and what I'm realizing is this, the far our actually, when it comes to this stuff, the Epstein stuff, the Mueller report, they do have an idea what's going on. Some of them will lie for Trump. But our problem is not the far right and the far left. It's the middle. It's the middle of the country who actually don't know anything and are just yelling things as if they do know something. And that is the true problem that we are facing here. Wait, I want to find... Oh, I might have to go through all of this. Sorry. I have so many. God, I don't know if you've been watching. I'm going to put it in the... Sorry, I'm looking at clips that are so disgusting. The Midas Touch has done amazing coverage, which I'll say, and that's the importance of this, is to get it all in the, on the internet, which even if it's deleted from the internet will still be in the way back machine. But they've done a lot of just horrific graphic reporting. They've had witnesses, people that Trump, Epstein, I don't know if anyone's seen Epstein's girlfriend was on CNN that Trump assaulted. It's just, watching this stuff is very triggering to me personally, but hold on. Sorry. I'm close. I know it. It's getting close. I'm almost there. Well, God. Sorry. I'm going to have to find this clip, or we'll just go through and I'll find it. But I know it's somewhere right here. Sorry, I have 78 clips today to show you guys, so it's hard for me. I think I'm gonna move on to the conspiracy, because this is why I had to go live today. So, the Biden auto pen, or whatever the F else Trump has been trying to distract with, again, all the J6 pardons. Thanks, Kimber. You're the best. Are signed with AutoPen. So no one's really digging into that or caring. So he had to pivot. And I don't know if you know why Trump has been very mad at Tulsi Gabbard, but Tulsi Gabbard is actually, she used to be far left and then kind of moved to the far right. And the things the far left and the far right have in common is very anti-war. Oh my God. Which, before I show you how all this involves Tulsi Gabbard and her actual far right / far left beliefs, let me show you. This is what I'm talking about. This is another example. When Marjorie Taylor Greene is making perfect sense, then you're like, what? Yeah, I'm telling you. And I think as we come to the realization that the only way we're going to stop the people in the center, and when I say center, I mean billionaires, the lobbyists that are helping them, the politicians that are being bribed by them, like the actual swamp, the center, moderate Democrats, moderate Republicans, and the people doing the backstroke in that swamp and profiting off of it. How are we going to stop them? I think the left and right, the far end, the bookends, we're going to have to agree on some things and help each other, because that's the only way. And this is what I mean. There are things, I hate this, and I hate that I have to say it, that I agree very thoroughly with Marjorie Taylor Greene on. I don't respect Tulsi Gabbard anymore after she has done the backstroke of it, like, oh, I didn't say that. But the reason Tulsi Gabbard's helping Trump with this fake conspiracy, which now I know for sure, Tulsi Gabbard's the director of national intelligence, has never read the Mueller report, has never read the CIA's report on Russia interference in the 2016 election, and for sure, and was in Congress, has never read the bipartisan Senate Judiciary Report, where they bipartisanly agreed on this. So the person running the intelligence community can't read. But this is Marjorie Taylor Greene. So in case you missed it, this is from Tennessee Holler, which is a great account to follow if you don't follow them, at the TN Holler. Marjorie Taylor Greene's amendment she's trying to cut funding from Israel. She's trying to cut funding from Israel. $500 million in missile defense aid to Israel. She proposed an amendment. It was struck down 422-6. She pointed out, we already provide them with billions, racking up debt as they give their people, she's talking about Israel. She's saying Israel has universal health care. Israel has subsidized tuition to university, and we're paying for them to genocide the Palestinians. Yeah, I agree with this too. Thank you. Great point, Marjorie. And she's like, hey, maybe we should claw back some of the money that we're paying for them to just spray, missiles everywhere in the Middle East whilst they drag us into World War III. That's why Trump was mad at Tulsi, because Tulsi started saying, hey, we're closer than ever to World War III. Iran was at minimum of 3 years away, I believe. Sorry, correct me if I'm wrong, people in the comments who know better. But I believe when Trump really turned on Tulsi a month ago was because she said, yeah, Iran is minimum, but probably more, 3+ years away from having anything nuclear they could use as a weapon. What are we doing? Why are we going to enter World War III? Listen to this.
Israel bombed a Catholic church in Gaza, and that an entire population is being wiped out as they continue their aggressive war in Gaza. My amendment would strike $500 million in funding for nuclear-armed Israel's missile defense system. The U.S. already provides Israel with $3.8 billion annually in foreign aid. $3.8 billion, that's a lot of money. Additionally, the April 2024 security supplemental included $8.7 billion for Israel. Even though Israel, nuclear-armed Israel, has universal health care for their citizens and subsidized college for their citizens. They're able to provide that. However, here in America, we're $37 trillion in debt. My amendment will ensure an America First Department of Defense, and that is exactly what we need and we haven't had for a very long time.
Right neighborhood, wrong address, right? But she's getting it now, right? What is America First, if not providing upward mobility, access to university, access to healthcare? If we don't provide healthcare for children when they're young, they're never going to get anywhere. If we're not giving school lunches to kids when they're learning, they're not going to learn shit. That is America First, is, hey, people here first, children here first, and providing upward mobility. So, and meanwhile, right? It turns out Trump is not America first. I couldn't agree more. Trump is providing defense contracts for billionaires and dragging us into conflicts no one in the world wants, right? So billionaires to terrify the general population. So people think, oh yeah, we need a golden dome over this country. None of this is real. This is delusional. And when Marjorie Taylor Greene is finally one of the first people to get it, like, we should be scared. And again, I could go into all the crazy things about Marjorie Taylor Greene I don't agree with. I'm not saying, like, but what we need to stop doing is saying we have nothing in common. Right? Because we're all in the same life raft. And as long as we're like, that's the enemy, I keep saying this. This is not a left-right. We are drowning, right? This is an up-down. It is very few rich people. It's 83 billionaires, the lobbyists, the politicians that are being bribed by them, corporations, against all the rest of us. That is the truth. And however long it takes everyone to get that, I mean, that's what's scary. You don't have to agree with everything, but we have to realize who is robbing us and who's making it impossible for our children to have a life. So, okay, I'm going to go into this conspiracy theory stuff because I need to do it now because it's going to, God, based on how long this is taking, could take a while. So, okay, Tulsi Gabbard launched Operation. This is Ron. I'm reading Ron Filipkowski because when you're like, what the hell? Operation Distract from Epstein this weekend. And I just want to point out, in my opinion, Trump is really mad at Tulsi because of hey, Iran doesn't have weapons of mass destruction. They're, years and years and years out from that minimum. And then, God, she did one more thing and now I can't remember what it was. But Tulsi was almost gone for defying him. Or, excuse me, for saying the goddamn truth. Operation Distract from Epstein this weekend, releasing a report about the Russian election interference operation in 2016, which concluded with her referral to DOJ that former President, this is hilarious, Barack Obama and other senior officials be investigated and indicted for treason. And I'm telling you, if you're just no shade if you don't know anything about this. There are MAGA people who have read the Mueller report. I've talked to some of them who debate on TikTok, and they know this is not true. The person, Russian state media. Oh, okay, sorry. They call Tulsi our girl. Oh yeah, that's true. I've played clips of it. The person Russian state media repeatedly refers to as our girl Tulsi has been trying to get back into the good graces of the cult leader. He's talking about Trump. I know this is how he writes. After he was enraged, okay, he did write this, and nearly fired Gabbard after she released a viral video warning that we have never been closer to World War III, which don't go on X, but MAGA knows what I'm talking about. After Trump bombed Iran, she released a video and was like, this is what and Margarine too, just in Margarine Taylor Greene's defense, she also was like, this is crazy. The far right, and again, no MAGA is a real libertarian, because real libertarians, again, believe in decriminalizing all illicit substances and no borders. But the farthest of the right, fake MAGA libertarians, they don't want war, right? They do not want war. Trump reportedly felt that she had gone rogue by posting the video, which he took as a suggestion that his foreign policy was reckless and put the world in danger. It is. And he lied. He ran on no new wars. And there have never been more conflicts or more. I was reading. That's another story. She hung on to her job and did what Trump expected her to do next, turn her office against his domestic enemies rather than focus on foreign threats. But this desperate move is likely to backfire. And that's the thing. Tulsi thinking she's doing a good thing it's almost like she set up Pam Bondi again. I don't believe Tulsi's smart enough to understand how bad she set up Pam Bondi, but it's almost brilliant. You know what I mean? It's like a happy accident for all of us. because Pam Bondi is a lobbyist for foreign agents on U.S. soil. Oh, formerly, she's the swamp. So it's actually like in Tulsi trying to make up with Trump. I mean, she has put Pam Bondi. There's no right answer. No matter what Pam Bondi does, she's effed. But this desperate move is likely to backfire. She now has a criminal referral that is impossible to prove, right? Because I'll show you the clips. Tulsi Gabbard's basically like, only person who could indict someone over something that isn't anything, right? Because this is not real. If you've read the bipartisan Senate Judiciary Report, it's only 800 pages. And the Mueller report, yeah, no, this is not a real thing. But Tulsi is like, I've done an investigation that I'm not going to show anyone, and I've now sent it all to Pam Bondi, and this is a thing. She now has a criminal referral that is impossible to prove dumped into her lap, talking about Pam Bondi, with MAGA universally foaming at the mouth to see Obama in handcuffs any day now. I'm not going to read the Gabbard quotes because I'm going to show you guys I have the clips. Trump praised a segment on Fox calling for Obama to be prosecuted with a Truth Social post. Oh my God. He has an AI video on Truth Social of Obama sitting next to him in the Oval Office and suddenly being handcuffed. It's disturbing. For American, this is a quote from Tulsi. Well, actually, no, I think I have all of these. I'm just trying. I feel like there's more of this I wanted to read. Okay, here we go. Ranking House of Intel Committee, ranking member of House Intel Committee, Jim Hines, Democrat, Connecticut. Quote, this is utter nonsense, completely odd that the then CIA director, this is a Mike Pompeo, that's Trump's lapdog, didn't say any of this, or that none of the 6 directors of national intelligence in Trump's first term, remember there were 6, said any of it. Once again, the director of national intelligence, Gabbard, is trashing her own people in an attempt to regain Trump's favor or to distract. But I want to talk about the quagmire. So basically, here's the deal. Tulsi Gabbard has written a check that no one can cash, right? She's implied that there's evidence that, believe me, I know, because I've done the puzzle piece. Or I thought it was a puzzle piece. It said puzzle piece, and then the puzzle piece didn't pop up. So I don't know. But the only thing that people who've read the Mueller report and the bipartisan Senate Judiciary Report know is that's not what it says. Like, Tulsi Gabbard went on Fox yesterday and said that we should arrest or indict Obama for saying that Putin and Russia broke into our voting machines. The only thing those reports say is he didn't do that. Just to be clear, and it's like, has she not read them? Was she that desperate to help Trump? I don't know. But the only thing those reports very clearly state is no one ever broke into any voting machines. That's what it says. It said there were I think in certain states, they felt there might have been a DDoS attack, if like trying to overwhelm and break in, but no voting machines were compromised. That is what we know from those reports, and that they did other things, right? Like, we know about the bots, we know about the B threats, we know about all sorts of interference in the 2016 election. But the only thing that Mueller, and then the completely separate, and what I think is actually more interesting to me, the bipartisan Senate Judiciary Report says is nobody interfered with voting machines in Russia or successfully did. And the whole thing that they're saying is that Obama said that Putin broke into voting machines, which is the only thing that is not in those reports and is stated very clearly. And Tulsi Gabbard went on Fox yesterday and is like, Yeah, I sent all this on over, and if Pam Bondi doesn't indict someone, it's on her. And Trump, and please don't think like, because I'm like, man, maybe they're really going to go for it again. You know, like Charlie Kirk, all these people are like, let's go at Pam Bondi again. Maybe they'll get rid of her. But Trump is directing everything she does. So none of this makes sense. Like, none of this is going to end well for MAGA. It's like they're going in a giant circle. So first I'm going to show you guys now. I love Mr. Global, and he actually, usually he's talking about oil and gas, but wait, what's happening? Oops, we have an issue here. What is happening? I might have to hold on. Something is not going well. I'm like, apply? Sorry, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what I need to do to make this stop. Hold on. How do I delete? I'm going to delete casting my iPad and like reinstall it because I have no idea what is happening. We're trapped on Margarine's face forever. And that's like literally a nightmare. Please keep tapping the screen. We should be at 300K. I think we just got to 200K. I'm just going to reinstall. Yeah, cast iOS. Okay. My gaming thing, because use a cable connection. What is happening? Something is going on. How do I? Oh, I should not have done that. Hold on. I have a capture card I could use if this does not work. Use a cable to connect your mobile device and PC. I have a capture card I can use for this. What is going on with this live? Ever since it froze for a second and now something weird is happening. Oh, maybe I cannot re-add this during the live. I bet that's what it is. Can I add a capture card? Yeah, I can. Okay. Let me just think. Sorry. I meant to start wiring this without Bluetooth. This is what I get for not doing it sooner than now because I have all the stuff I need. Here, I don't want to restart this live. I'm just trying to think of where my stuff is to connect my iPad to the live. Hold on. I have it right there. Hold on. I'm just going to do this manually. It will just take a second. Okay. If you want to know what I'm doing, like capture cards or how wire things to lives instead of using Bluetooth to cast iPads. And this is what gamers do. So Pickles has these like inserted inside, and that sounds gross, his PC. But I have like just a really very expensive gaming laptop, and it's basically instead of using Bluetooth, you use HDMI to connect your devices so that when you're gaming, it streams wirelessly. I'm just saying this in case anyone wants to do this one day. But hold on, because I'm gonna let me just think. I'm gonna connect. Give me 1 second. Like you might not see me for a second, but I'm just gonna move two things around.
بدعمين، بواحد رمى الثلجان وواحد رمى 200. هذا الترك رجع بس شوي فاد راح نزلك بس لبين ما يظبط. يلا بسرعة بس ثواني ترك خليك معي. عندك انت مشكلة بانترنتك كان بس ثواني يا ترك الله يسعدك بس ثواني. بس خلينا نستعد هذا الشاب. حياك يا سوبرمان يا زن. تفضل اطلع يا سوبرمان يا زن. يلا بسرعة كفو عليكم. تأكد انك موجود عند الاثنين بالكامل لا تنسالي ولا يتا واحد. ترك اخوي ثواني دعمتني بثولجان استنى شوي انا شايفك يا غالي ربي يسعد لي اياك. حياك الله بياك ارحب لك. حياك يا سوبرمان لك حي كفو عليك كفو. بعد ارمي لك قطار ارمي لك قطار. خلينا نوصلك ل 1000 متابع يا سوبرمان. هادو القطار هادو القطار حط على ارسال. خلينا نوصلك الالف خلينا نمسك الألف يا سوبرمان يا سوبرمان. وينك يا ترك؟ تعال سعد تعال. انت حسابك حرام صغير. الدعم تورمي كمان فوق هذا القطار بيطلع في نص الشاشة. بسرعة صور لي الشاشة صوروا لي. ليش رفع عم يسجلوا لك عم يصور لك الشاشة. حياك الله يا ترك بس المايك يا روحي. يلا بسرعة الشباب عم بتصور الشاشة. قول يا رب قوي قلبك وحط ارسال. يلا بسرعة الشباب اللي اخذ من الصندوق الف مبروك عليك يا غالي الله يسعد لي اياك. بس خد اشترك لي بالقلب الاورنجي وخليك عم تاخذ من الصناديق لاخر اللايف. تمام يا قلبي ربي يسعد لي اياكم. حياكم الله وبياكم ارحبوا نورتونا. في نعرف ليش ترك طلع بعد سوبرمان واخذ اضافات اكثر من سوبرمان. ليش مالك عند سوبرمان؟ يلا بسرعة كلياتنا عند سوبرمان. كفو عليك كفو سوبرمان. كمان ارمي كمان مشان نوصلك لألف. بعد يا غالي حي الله بعد كمان ستة كمان ستة. الله يسعدك يا غالي الله يسعدك يا روحي. يلا كمان واحد عدوا لي 2 3 الستة ضلوا منهم رمى منهم 2 4. يلا بسرعة يلا بسرعة 3 اوب ألف مبروك الليفل الجديد لك. ألف مبروك الليفل الجديد. بعد يا سوبرمان كمان يا سوبرمان يا روحي كمان. يلا بسرعة